Now, page 4, the proper constitutional White House response to the phony and partisan impeachment inquiry. The 8-page letter written by the White House counsel is about 7 pages too long, but it contained within the rather verbose prose the truth. The House of Representatives in the 116th Congress is weaponizing a solemn constitutional process for partisan political gain. Yes, that is true. It's also accurate to say, as the letter indicates, that the Democrats are trying to undo the 2016 election results. Yep, it's exactly what's happening. And what Nancy Pelosi is allowing to transpire violates multiple aspects of the Bill of Rights: due process, free speech, the right to confront your accuser, just to name a few. But these are all interpretations of the actions of these partisans. The big issue here is the constitutional process and congressional precedents. Both are being violated, as is articulated in the White House letter. There has been no vote of the full House of Representatives on impeachment. This has never before happened in the history of the lower chamber. Andrew Johnson, Bill Clinton, and almost Richard Nixon were all subjected to the same constitutional and congressional process: a full vote of the House on whether to proceed or not with an impeachment inquiry. Today, this is not happening. And there is a reason, and it's quite clear. Pelosi does not want to force the entire Democrat caucus to go on the record on impeachment because it might jeopardize certain red district Democrats, which would jeopardize the Democrat majority. But this is no small point. In fact, it's crucial. The White House letter is dead on target, and it's the proper constitutional response to an illegitimate partisan attack on the Article II branch of a government. And look who's also not paying attention to the playing by the constitutional rules. Why, it's none other than the loser candidate who can't keep her big mouth shut.
Impeachment is the appropriate remedy.
Stop, Dave. Let's talk about remedy, shall we? Remedy. How do you remedy the United States of what you and your husband put this country through back in the 1990s with your eruptions of these so-called women that were accusing Bill Clinton, and rightfully so, of all these sexual assaults? Bill Clinton is a sexual predator, and he was in the White House, and you enabled Bill Clinton to be a sexual predator. Taking care of all the bimbo eruptions. Wasn't that your job, Hillary? How do we remedy that? How do we remedy the scar, the ugly stain that Bill Clinton left in the Oval Office and in the White House because of his actions? How do we remedy this process that he effectively forced the Congress to go through in impeaching him because he lied? Not because he had an affair with Monica Lewinsky and all the others. That's not why Bill Clinton was impeached. Bill Clinton was impeached because he committed perjury. And the Constitution is pretty clear that when a president of the United States commits a crime like that, it is the obligation of the Congress to hold him accountable. So Bill Clinton, your hubby, in air quotes, was impeached in the lower body of Congress. And of course, in the Senate, the trial, he was acquitted. So he hung on as president of the United States, but the stain remains. So how do we remedy that? How do we remedy your colluding with a foreign entity, you and the Democrat National Committee colluding with a foreign entity and laundering money to these foreign entities through all kinds of shells, Democrat shells, including law firms, to create a phony dossier on your opponent, Donald Trump, to be used against him in the campaign and then used against him later in government by the partisans who still exist in the fourth branch of government and, of course, the partisans that exist in the United States Congress. How do we remedy that, Hillary? How do we remedy the 30,000 emails that you destroyed after a congressional subpoena? How do we remedy that? All that, the genie's out of the bottle. How do we remedy the stains from the Clintons over the decades now that you have left on our society, on our government, and on our United States Constitution? No, Hillary, how do we remedy what was hatched on November 9th, 2016? This was the date that impeachment was officially brought on Donald Trump. He wasn't even sworn into office at this point. But this was the day it started. The collusion between the Democrat operatives started. How are we going to get Donald Trump? And of course, it started with this disinformation campaign from the dossier, which was later knocked down. And then James Comey tried to harm the President of the United States. He was knocked down. And then almost simultaneously, we had Robert Mueller brought in to try and harm the President of the United States. He was knocked down. And so what do we have now? Well, we have at least the fourth attempt, the fourth major attempt to try and take out the 45th President of the United States on impeachment now. Of course, Robert Mueller's attempt on impeachment didn't work out so well. The American people didn't glom onto it. This, if you believe the polling, which I don't necessarily do, if you believe the polling, apparently some portions of the American people are shifting in favor of impeachment. But why not? You have the mainstream media partnering with people like Hillary Clinton and the leadership in the House of Representatives. They're partnering with these attacks on the President of the United States. It's a one-way street. They're being fed one dose of information. Not both sides, not the reality. They're being fed what the Democrat narrative is. And that is a constant barrage on the 45th President of the United States, now under the guise of impeachment. So, of course, the numbers are going to move. But Hillary Clinton, how do we remedy the attacks on the Constitution and on this republic by the Clinton clan over the years? Clinton cash and pay to play and all the damage that you did to individuals and to our system of government and to our United States Constitution. How do we remedy from all of that, Hillary? So this woman cares not about the Constitution, nor does Nancy, nor Adam, nor Jerry and company. All they care about is power, right? Naked, raw power over us, we the people. In the end, that's what Hillary's constant whining is all about, and it's what is driving this purely partisan attack on the 45th president, using this hyper-constitutional, hyper-congressional process that they call an impeachment inquiry.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One America News on YouTube, and call your cable provider and kindly demand that One America News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.